It's Friday. We did it. We made it to Friday. We made it to the week before Thanksgiving. We made it through it anyway. I'm Jason DeRusha. Welcome to CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. Glad to have you with us today. Hope you got a chance to get outside yesterday. We had a fire pit as the sun set in the 50s. Today it's a lot cooler, and it's going to feel cooler too because the wind's out there. About a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind, Katie Steiner tells us. The high today around, right around 40. Average 38. So it's going to be an average day. We're in that sort of stretch. A little chance for some precipitation, maybe snow, maybe rain, late night, Saturday into Sunday. But Thanksgiving, for now anyway, looking pretty clear. Let's talk about this. Tonight is the last night, last day. You can go to the gym, you can go to the bowling alley, you can go to the arcade. Are people going to arcades still? It's just me. Is that just me? Maybe. Restrictions start just before midnight tonight and go for 4 weeks through Friday, December 18th. So we know the gyms have to close, movie theater, kind of this entertainment space, the movie theaters, the arcades, that sort of thing. Youth sports going on pause. Bars and restaurants going to take out only. And I have seen so many bars and restaurants doing like a buy one, get one pint of beer or $3 pints, trying to sell through their inventory because they just found out they were closing a couple days ago. So they've got kegs that they need to get rid of. And so it sort of makes me uneasy, this idea of like, oh, you better rush the bar and get a good deal so these restaurants can sell it. Should something different be done? Do you think the state should allow those restaurants and bars to maybe sell growlers or crowlers of their keg beer? Yes, they did allow wine and beer to be sold in cans and in bottles, but only in a six-pack. What do you think about that? Should there be something else done here? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment on the WCCO TV Facebook page, and we'll read through in a couple of minutes. Lots of states have allowed to-go cocktails. For example, here, we only allow to-go mix. So you can buy a mix, but they can't include the booze in there. Could be a lifeline for restaurants. Maybe it's you think it's too dangerous with drinking and driving. So we'll share your comments coming up. COVID-19 still spreading across the U.S., of course. The CDC now saying if you were thinking of traveling for Thanksgiving, cancel it. They're saying don't travel at all for the holiday, especially if your travel plans involve a bus, a train, or a plane. MSP Airport already has been anticipating a drop in travel. It's kind of a weird deal because the drop is an increase compared to what things have been like over the last couple months. Passenger numbers through MSP have been slowly creeping up since May. But look at the numbers here. Last year, 206,000 people went through MSP during this Thanksgiving time period. This year, they're projecting a third of that, 71,000. Which, frankly, I'm still a little surprised. That's a lot of people traveling on Thanksgiving week. Pfizer is seeking emergency government approval of its COVID-19 vaccine. This starts a process that could bring some doses of vaccine to people as early as next month. The FDA will have to decide if there's really enough evidence to allow emergency vaccinations. Pfizer said the vaccine's 95% effective, but what about the safety? What about the side effects? That's all stuff the FDA will take a look at. Total number of cases since the pandemic hit the U.S. is approaching 1.2 million. Georgia has completed its hand recount, and President-elect Joe Biden is still the winner in that state. No surprise, Georgia's Secretary of State says the hand recount did upheld and did reaffirm the original outcome that was produced by the, running the stuff through the machine. So the first thing is a machine tally, and then all these nice folks did a hand recount. And President Trump can request a full recount because the results were still within 0.5%, but not until after the state certifies its results. It's Joe Biden's birthday. President-elect turned 78 years old today. Biden will be the oldest president in American history when he's sworn in 2 months from today. Minnesotans really came through on the biggest charity day of the year, Give to the Max. Minnesotans ponying up in an incredible amount, a record $30+ million donated to more than 6,000 different causes all over the state, nonprofits, schools, churches, all of that. The old record was 21 million. So how about this? And this is a year nonprofits hit so hard by the pandemic. No question, every dollar helps. Give to the Max Day is over, but the charities still need your help. We have a list of charities you can donate direct, or you can still donate through GiveMN. A unique Twin Cities quote-unquote landmark is up for auction after the city of Minneapolis bought the store. The K from the Lake Street Kmart is for sale. It's on an auction site. The bid right now, $700. The city bought the Kmart out of its lease earlier this year. It's been an issue for a lot of folks as this blocks Nicollet Avenue. If you're trying to come from downtown through uptown to South Minneapolis, kind of divides the neighborhood. So who wants a giant K? Feels like something a brewery would put in, right? Like some of the breweries or a distillery have like the old signs. The big K would be pretty good. Dolly Parton has a Christmas movie coming out this weekend. It's a musical called Christmas on the Square. It's a modern take on the Christmas Carol. Christine Baranski is the Scrooge. Dolly Parton is an angel, obviously. You can tell Dolly Parton wrote it. She's like, and I'll be the angel. The movie features 14 new songs, all written by Dolly Parton. The reviews say it's super cheesy, but super kind of perfect for what you want for a Christmas music. A Christmas movie starts streaming on Sunday on Netflix. And Dolly Parton has a Christmas music special that's going to air on CBS. We are going to interview Dolly Parton. I was told yesterday that we'll interview her on mid-morning. How cool is that? Dolly Parton, man. She donated $1 million to develop the COVID-19 vaccine. Dolly Parton could be a cajillionaire, but because she's such an amazing human, she gives the money away and makes, not only does she make our world better with her music, but she's doing it with her money and with her action. She is a treasure and an inspiration for sure. Let's talk about your comments, as closing time is tonight for bars and restaurants across Minnesota, or Minnesota, if you will. Should they be allowed to sell takeout beer and cocktails? So like a crowler. We're talking about tap beer, right? Because that's the stuff that breweries and restaurants are going to have to toss. You can't let that sit for 4 weeks without any of it going. Simon saying, I work in hotels. We have plenty of alcohol to sell that's going to go bad. So let them sell it. Thanks, Simon. Here's Tony, who says, I agree with the necessity of the pause. Hospitals overwhelmed. Cases, deaths skyrocketing. However, to-go drinks should be allowed. Don't see it any different than curbside pickup at your favorite restaurant. Yep, Tony, thank you. Thane Tran says maybe some people don't know how to mix cocktails. Yeah, maybe, right? If you could buy like an old-fashioned or Manhattan from your favorite place, have it ready to go, I think people would do it. It'd be a way to support the restaurant, right? Becca's saying they at least need to allow them to sell growlers. Those unopened bottles of wine and liquor will last. That's true. But the kegs of beer for sure won't. Kimberly says, I get the businesses need to be successful. Liquor is expensive, but it doesn't sound safe at all to me. I think that partially the fear is that people will have this in their car and then they're going to crack it open while they drive. But like, isn't that true of a sealed anything that you buy anywhere? Like, I don't understand. Do you really think like people are going to open a quart of Manhattans and just like start pounding it? I don't know. It seems unlikely to me. Peggy says we have liquor stores if you need it. That's the reason why this hasn't changed, because the liquor stores in many parts of Minnesota are municipal liquor stores owned by the cities, and they have tremendous lobbying power. And so they don't want it. They want to protect their business. I think a lot of liquor stores will be okay with saying, let these places sell their inventory off. Let's not make it a permanent thing, but let them sell what they have. We'll see. This debate will come up again for sure as restaurants try to get through these next 4 weeks. It's time to get back to the takeout thing, right? We got to support these folks as we all come together to do the right thing and try to get safely through this winter. Glad to have you with us here on the Morning Update from CBSN Minnesota. We appreciate your input, appreciate your comments. I really do. I read all of it. We will see you on Monday. We'll be back here then. I hope you will too.